Games. Bad at Games.
And we're back with BADatGAMES13, playing NASCAR Heat 4 for the very first time. I watched Talladega Nights just before playing this, so I have some idea about NASCAR. Looks like great fun. According to the documentary, it looks like you will spawn abusive children, at least to their grandparents. Using a G29, right out of the box, this game has some of the strongest force feedback. It's to the point where my right shoulder was really hurting by the end of the 28 lap race, not including the qualifying or the practicing. So the races are split up into 3 sections. You get to practice the track first. As you can see, there's a timer up in the top right hand corner. I didn't practice for the full hour, so you don't have to sit here and watch an hour's worth of practicing. You seem to get the markers, the road markers, the racing line, etc. only on the practice. Once you get into qualifying, they get removed, and in the race they get removed also. What I like about the 3 separate sections is the time of day changes. So the qualifying, you'll see there'll be a bit of a sunset going on, so it all looks very pretty, and then the actual race is all done at night, so all the track's lit up and everything. It really looks good. You know, it's not on par with games like Gran Turismo or anything like that, and I believe by looking at it, it only runs at 30 frames, not 60 frames. But it gets the job done. The cars all look really good. The sound is something else though. Really deafening. The cars sound excellent. Obviously the chase cam, you don't get the full sound. The cockpit cam is really good. You get all the rattles and everything inside the cockpit. But I use the bonnet cam definitely to start with. I'll probably go to the cockpit cam once I'm a bit more used to the driving. But the bonnet cam seems to suit me just fine at the moment. I think I need to adjust the sound because the guy that talks to me from the pits, sorry I say a guy, that's me assuming gender, he's really quiet, and obviously what he says sometimes is fairly important, you know, sort of tells you if there's someone on your right when you're taking a turn, someone on the inside if you're taking a turn, so you know whether you can switch lanes or not. In the top right it gives you a goal to aim for. I got fairly close to it, didn't quite beat it, but I'm guessing that if you sort of get that in qualifying, and I'm assuming it will put you pole position or at least very close to the front. This game was still installing whilst I was doing this race, so it just gave me this car. I had no choice of car, I had no choice of track. I believe we're racing in Charlotte. I only know them from the Charlotte Hornets. That's about it as far as my knowledge goes with Charlotte. In this game I know that drafting is a big deal. I know you can side draft as well. I need to look up more on how the game works with that. My main worry about buying a NASCAR game was all the stigma that NASCAR gets about just only being left-hand turns. I'll be honest, playing this game, the left turns, it didn't bother me. The game was actually really fun. And I've noticed there's some tracks with turns that aren't just left turns. Right, that's enough practice. Let's get ourselves over to qualifying and see what I can get there. So in practice I got a 30.7. I didn't get close to that on my actual qualifying. What threw me off was on qualifying, you only get 1 lap to get up to speed and 1 lap to actually set your time.
Dig, driver.
Now, I thought I selected manual gears as I play every racing game with manual gears, but they didn't seem it didn't seem to save or register. But then I realised that once you're up to 4th gear, you don't need to change gears. You need to brake a little bit on some of the corners, but yeah, you don't need to drop down a gear. I'm assuming like if you crash or something, then yes. But just driving the line, no need for any more gear changes. So we are about to start the qualifying lap. I felt that it was going well. No racing line to follow. I kind of prefer that. I always switch them off if I can anyway on games, especially after I've done the track a few times. Look at that sunset, isn't it glorious? What a distraction. So I have 2 corners to get right, and I got one of them wrong, being this one. I let off, then have to brake. Not good at all. Finishing the lap with a 31.4 puts me in 28th. I believe there to be 40 races on the track, so, you know, not too bad. In between practice, qualifying and racing, you can go to your car setup. I haven't really looked at that yet. That's something when I get a bit more advanced. I did set the difficulty to hard. Again, most games that I get, I will lump them on the hard difficulty. A little bit of a story going on with a couple of the racers. These names mean nothing to me. And here I am, starting 27th on the grid. There's a lot of cars to get past. This is going to be fun. Coming up to the first turn. Try and take it on the inside. Hold the line. Decided not to, and I just drift across straight into the wall. Bounce back. Bit of promotion. Not too sure on the rules. Does it matter if you hit people? I didn't get any penalties. Obviously I'm not deliberately ramming people off, but I don't know the rules on contact. Does look good with all the cars on the track. Definitely has a really good atmosphere. Another wall for me to hit. Here we go, coming up on some of them now. Squeezing on the outside, cheeky. Back some positions. Oh, taking it wide again. So this race was set at a 7% length, which gave me 28 laps. So I'm assuming 100% length would be one hell of an endurance test with this force feedback. If 28 laps is already wrecking my right shoulder, then yeah, 100%. Oh, goodness. It's definitely a game I can see myself getting really into. I really like the racing. Like I said, the atmosphere is really good, and all the cars on the track. So once it's fully installed, I will be going through the career mode, and we'll see how well I can do on that. Maybe even have a cheeky online race. God knows what the online must be like. I imagine it's pretty chaotic. Here we go, the announcer's telling me there's someone on the outside. I cut across anyway, not deliberately, and then I must have wiped this guy fully out. He's gone into a spin. Again, I don't know the rules, so do I get penalties for that? Do I get in any trouble? Is it alright to do that? Should I just be smashing into everyone? The option to pit came up. Did I need to pit? I don't think I did. I obviously still had enough fuel. My tyres seemed to be alright. Then reset everyone, sort of put everyone back together as a pack. Is this something that happens in every race, or is this because that guy spun out and there was an accident? I definitely need to do a crash course in NASCAR, so I'm not a complete noob. A little bit annoyed that the guy on the right had my favourite number on his car, so I use him to help me. I figured, well, it's my number, must be my car. There we go. Use him to get round the corner. Again, it wasn't deliberate, just judging it wrong. Getting some positions now. Coming up the inside. Skipping forward a few laps just to get to some action. Do a nice sneaky undertake. Nearly spun. Managed to hold it. Skipping forward again. Coming up on a group of cars. Do a few good overtakes. Hold a good racing line. The sense of speed when you're actually playing, especially when you're coming up for an overtake, is actually really good. They do a good job of making you feel like you're right there. Even after all them laps, I'm still a bit shit at trying to get past people. Still crash into them. Managed to get myself up to 9th position. That's where I end the race. All in all, not a bad first experience on NASCAR Heat 4. Like I said, definitely be coming back to this. I think I'll go through the career mode, do a few videos on that. And again, if you made it this far in the video, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Really enjoying doing these videos and doing the edits, and started doing voiceovers. Just need to get more comfortable with hearing my own voice. Hopefully it doesn't bore you all to sleep. Okay, we'll see you in the next one.